It's 4 o'clock on a Friday, and you know what that means, don't you? It's time for another exciting episode of Taxi's Quarantini Happy Hour. Woohoo! And I had to change some settings yesterday, so I hope you guys are seeing this. Let me know in the chat room. And thank you, fake band. Thank you, fake audience. Let's go see if you guys are seeing my face on your screens. Yes, you are. Good to know. Yes, we are making these for the road rally. We are. I asked Angel and Bria to take care of this and order me some. But yep, today Bria told me, I don't know, last night, this morning, I can't even remember, that today is the 100th episode of Taxi's Quarantini Happy Hour. Woohoo! I can't believe that we've done this 100 times. Notice that lately I've been getting a little thin on content ideas. Yes, be sure to hit the like. Please do that now. Thank you. Yes. We will be, we're going to get them from Cafe Press or one of those places where you can basically get the taxi logo on just about anything. Yep. Insanity, doing the same thing over and over again. Definitely insanity. Oh, man. Thank you, Peter Rahill. So let's see, who do we have here? We've got Alex Dillon, Terrell Beckless, Tony Salazzo, Michael Reschke, and Yuka Reschke, Lane Bellin, Shrek, Khalid Hamad, Darren Moss, Nancy Kalel, Kristen Knight, Peter Rahill, Giovanni Lanza, Crash Gates, Andre Stepanian. Yeah, who has been here from day one? Yeah, we're going to make sure it's available. Love those emojis. I've made a great mark in history for us, yeah. Hello, Ian. Hello, Carrie. Hello, Jesse, Alan, JP. Let's see, Debbie Ward. Hello. I'm exhausted, you guys. Seriously, I am so wiped out. I'm just like, now it's coming down to like people that are doing videos, like sponsor videos, sending me videos. What do you think of this? What do you think of that? Yesterday, I spent a very frustrating hour with Barry Dvorzan from MasterWriter. I love the man. I really do. He's a close friend, and I think MasterWriter is a killer product. But trying to get, for his sponsored thing, I'm actually going to interview him, and they put together this awesome video of what MasterWriter actually does. Now, I've known Barry now for, I don't know, probably 15 years or more, and I've been familiar with MasterWriter since the day they first launched it. But frankly, I've never fully understood all the things that it can do. And so they sent me a rough cut of a video that they've been working on, showing all the cool stuff that it does. And man, oh man, I cannot wait for you guys to see that. So yes, this is, hello Cass, hello John Hope, hello Bonzo. Today is the 100th episode. I can't believe it. I mean, frankly, when Bria told me that, I was in shock. Whoop. I'm drinking, what am I drinking today? The blue edition of whatever this crap is. Red Bull Blue Edition, blueberry something or other. Do I take a break to just chill and relax? I wish I could. Excuse me. I think about the road rally from the minute that we go off air till the minute I go to sleep. I wake up in the morning at like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, eyes wide open, go, oh, I still got to do this, still got to do that. No, I don't crash from those later. Frankly, I don't even get a buzz from them. Heart attack juice, yeah. I don't drink. I don't drink more than one a day. I am cheating on Rockstar. Um, Kristen, even when I take a break, I'm still thinking about it and stressing out. So I might as well just go take care of whatever it is that I've got to take care of. Um, are we counting that partial show? Honestly, I don't know. Bria did the math on that. I don't know. I'm guessing probably not. Um, anyway, hello, Brad Gray. Hello, Akira. So here we are, another Friday. Hello, Dan Weber. So, remember, today is the day where you guys are going to vote on the iZotope thing. Where are my notes? Right, so in a little while, we're going to vote on the RX versus ozone and which version of each. Okay, so that. So, you know what I want to do while we wait for the room to fill up, if it's going to fill up anymore, is let's talk about, see if you can, I can't remember, honestly, I just can't remember. Favorite moments on the Quarantini Happy Hour. Do you remember any funny stuff, any really memorable stuff, any like big revelations of things that you've learned, any takeaways? Are you getting sick of me yet? I'm getting sick of me. I look at myself on the screen and go, I think I've aged just during these 100 episodes. I definitely added more gray hair on the temple area. But yep, 100 episodes. So I sent my wife out this morning. I said, Debs, can you please go to like Michael's or somewhere and get those inflated balloony things that are numbers like when somebody turns 16 and buy a 100 and my first burp. And so she couldn't. So she got yellow balloons, and my wife did the artwork on those. And you could tell I blew up the one in the middle. It's not as big as the other ones. Apparently, never mind. All right, yeah, the Mylar balloons. Couldn't find them. She could find a 1 and an O, the letter O. Okay, so favorite things. My first burp. Unique business proposition, unique selling proposition was fun. A funny story I told. Okay, I don't think I've ever been funny in my life. Maybe funny looking, but not that funny. Rick Springfield episode was unexpected. What did we do about Rick Springfield? Gosh, what was the funny story? Getting to pretend you're screeners has been fun. Jason Bloom was fun. Thanks, Heidi Owen. +1 to keeping each other company. That's the single most important thing that we've done during all these shows. I never, ever imagined, I don't think any of us imagined that we'd be doing this more than like 2, 3, 4 weeks max. And here we are. Let's see, how many months? So we started somewhere around March 25th, maybe. So March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. 7 months. Wow. Oh, the Pat Boone naked. Yeah, that was a doozy. Oh, man, there's a commercial running now for, I don't know, like those vitamins in capsule form or the natural pain relief stuff. I don't know. But I keep seeing Pat Boone, who still looks really good, by the way. Guy's got to be pushing like early to mid 90s, I would think. And now I just forgot the hell I'm talking about. Oh, every time I see him on the commercials, you know what I'm seeing. I'm not seeing his face, that's for sure. The Golden Gopher Awards. Dick Van Dyke TV salesman. Oh, when I was hanging out with Dick Van Dyke at the computer store. The Crow Squadrons. Yeah, the Crows have been around lately, but they haven't been like marching in a line. Uh, Michael says Pat Boone looks good. You would know. Yeah, yes, we'll just leave it at that. Oh, man. Yeah, we should give out a Golden Gopher Award. If only I could find. Well, hold on a minute. Do I have a Golden Gopher? Let me think. Maybe I do. I'll be right back. There it is. This used to be a little clay thing of a gopher that you stick in your yard that Deb and I bought like 25 years ago, but the rain has worn the gopher's head. You can barely tell it's a gopher. Now it looks like a gopher turd. I'm going to go put this away. It's got little bugs all over it. That was pretty funny, right? A demented mushroom. Yeah, it looks like it. Kristen Knight missed the M&M story. Oh, man. Is that a castle across the street? No, it's a house. Do you know the house that's across the street? A family from India used to live there. They still own the house, I believe. Excuse me, but they've been renting it out for years. I think the husband went back to India to work, and the wife is like a surgeon in Boston. But so I think it was around, let me do a little math here, probably around 2005. We'd been in this house for a couple of years, and I had just gotten a brand new BMW 5 Series, and I was so proud of that car. I felt like I had arrived, you know. And anyway, so like a week later, I see their 18-year-old son, the family across the street, who I had barely spoken to him. I knew the parents, fairly well from like garbage night and stuff, talking at the end of the driveway, very nice people. And this kid pulls up and gets out of the identical car that I've got. And I said, wow, did your dad get a new car? And he goes, no, it's mine. And I was so crestfallen. I thought, wow, I've worked for like 20 years or something, to be able to get my first like nice car. It wasn't that expensive. I think it was like $50K or something, which nowadays is not that expensive for a car. And I said, really? Where do you work? He said, oh, I don't work. He got a perfect score on his SAT test and was like super duper valedictorian of his class. And he got full ride scholarships offered to him at like Harvard, Yale, and Stanford. And so the parents said, go pick out a car, any car you want. We will buy you the car because we don't have to pay for you to go to college. So there was an 18-year-old with the same car that I had after working my ass off for 20 years. But you know what? Good for him. I'm sure that kid is probably like, an investment banker somewhere or some big deal. Oh my God, look who's here. And no, it's not Rob Shirelli. Can you see it? It's the squirrel. The squirrel is back. Oh, man. Yep, it's a squirrel. Oh, he's already gone. Good for him. I hope he stays gone. It feels very lopsided today. Oh, well. Rocky is back. Yep. The Billy Joel story was good. I mean, really, how many people have stood next to Billy Joel at a urinal and have him go, "Here, man, you want a little bump?" I didn't inhale. Oh, I've already Adam 12 rerun today suggested putting flares in all your gopher holes. Yeah, well, I've done that. They have these things that look like road flares that you buy. They're about, I don't know, maybe 6 inches long. I forget what they're called. But yeah, you buy those and you light them and you shove them in the gopher holes. And yes, I had smoke coming out of several holes in the backyard. Didn't even seem to phase the gophers. I think one of the gophers came up and was like, "Yeah, I love that thing. It was great." That's right. Cass knows all about those gophers. Uh, Boy, Darren, you've got such a good memory. The impersonating Neil Young and turning around, Neil's watching you. Yep. I was probably wearing a flannel shirt that day too. I think that's why Neil liked me, because we both wore flannel shirts all the times, all the time. Yes, don't forget to like everybody. Wow, Jesse's first car is a '55 Pontiac Star Chief. Yeah, when I was a kid, my parents had a '65 Catalina four door in navy blue. That car was pretty. Um, all right, so let's see. What else do I want to talk about? Other favorite moments. Kristen, while these guys are coming up with other favorite moments for your benefit, I will tell you about the M&M story. I was in a hotel room somewhere. I used to travel a lot doing taxi little seminars all over the country. And I had a routine where I would always get like a Diet Coke and a pack of peanut M&Ms from the vending machine, go up to my room and just hang out and watch whatever was on TV. And I have a habit of taking M&Ms, putting them on like thumb like that, go doom, doom, doom. And one night I was sitting in my room, must have been, I don't know, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night, and I went, doom, doom. And second or third one I did, I went, uh-oh. I realized that thing was caught in my throat, for real. And I could feel myself starting to black out. My face got prickly, my fingertips got all prickly. And I remember thinking, I was embarrassed that I was going to be found dead by the lady that came to clean the room the next morning. And the headline was going to be some guy from California choked on an M&M alone in his hotel room. But I remembered seeing a guy on television show you how to self-Heimlich yourself. That was redundant. And so I went over to the desk in the room and tried to Heimlich myself on the chair. But the first time I did it, the chair rolled because it had casters on it. So I squished the arms of the chair down, shoved it under the desk, got it nice and tight, and with all my might, whacked myself, like right below my rib cage on the chair, and that M&M came flying out of my mouth. I've never been so happy to hurt myself in my life. Hello, Karen Brasher. Yep, so that was it. That was the big M&M story right there. So be careful. Don't do that with it. And I still sometimes, like 2 nights ago, I think Deb brought home a pack of M&Ms, and we were watching something, and I was, oh, no, not going to do that anymore. Big time producer, kiss on the lips episode. Hey, let's not spread that one around. Nancy says, I learned how much I cared for you during quarantini when I got worried you were drinking too many rock stars and thinking you might get a heart attack. Yeah, I'm careful with these things. I really am. And frankly, I wish they made them without the caffeine and taurine and stuff, because I got to get my little crown up there. How's my crown? There we go. Now I have a nice crown. Yeah, fits perfectly. Just the right side for my big old round head. Yeah, I don't. I think I told you guys a story about one day I had a meeting with some big book author that had actually joined Taxi, and he was like a big deal guy in Silicon Valley. Went to meet him for breakfast. It was like a week, maybe actually like 2 or 3 days before the road rally. This was probably in the mid to late 90s. Went to meet him for a breakfast in Santa Monica. I was so thrilled to meet the guy, and I think I drank one or two. They were called Hanson's energy drinks then, by Hanson's Natural Sodas, and I think I drank another one in the car on the way home. And all of a sudden, my neck started feeling really thick, and then I started sweating profusely. My heart was racing. I was getting shooting pains going down my arm. And I called Deb from my cell phone and said, I think I might be having a heart attack. I'm not sure. So just stay on the phone with me. I'm going to drive myself to the hospital. And if I quit talking, call 911. And I would call out every time I would pass an exit, so she, would know, like he's, at Tampa Avenue or whatever. So if she had to call 911 and tell him to look for the guy that was on the side of the road hanging out of his door dying of a heart attack, she would know where to send him. Oh, I do love Hanson's ginger ale. Um, yep, Hanson Soda. Yes, Scott, they're named after you. Um, you know the thing. Speaking of Joe Biden and President Trump, again, we're not going to get political here. Everybody is entitled to their own candidate, let's say. But why am I bringing that up? I actually thought about asking people what they thought about the debate. I feel a sneeze coming on. Oh no, and I don't have a napkin around. But yeah, let's not talk about the debate or the election. Let's keep it clean. No, the debate was it last night? I think it was last night. All the days have blurred together for me. Yeah, it was last night. One story I wish he told more of is the Beatles engineer Jeff Emmerich told you what Jeff Emmerich told Rob and I at dinner. I don't know that I can remember that many details. My wife makes the best challah. I don't know that her chocolate. I mean, she had that one batch chocolate chip cookies that were insanely good, and she says she follows the same recipe, but they never seem to come out the same twice. Yeah, I was trying to avoid the political news. Yeah, I don't want us to get into any sort of political stuff here, but I do love watching the debates, and I am a news hound, and I love politics. I'm just so incredibly pissed off at the media. It's astonishing to me about what they do report, what they don't report, how they will rush to report something that is inaccurate and then they don't even run a retraction, or if they do run a retraction, they bury it like 5 pages in the newspaper, so it's like, yeah, we ran a retraction. Nobody saw it, but we ran it. Could I call Rob Shirelli and ask if he remembers what Jeff Emmerich said at dinner? Maybe. I actually did think about calling Rob today, but I know if I get him on the phone that will suck up the whole hour, and I really do. I need to report back to the folks at iZotope that I can see straight. Front page news, back page retraction. That's right. Yeah, it's amazing. What the media, I really feel like we live in an age where the media and big tech are running this country. It's not even the Democrats or Republicans or the president or anybody anymore. It's literally the media. That I will talk about because it's, nonpartisan, I guess. But man, things are going haywire here with Boris. You guys think you have problems. Did your wife make the DoubleTree chocolate chip recipe I sent her? I don't know that she did, but I did give it to her. Never believe anything you hear and only half of what you see or what you don't see. Can I explain the iZotope products? Yeah, let's talk about iZotope. I want to address what Peter just said. Will California Prop 22 affect musician work for hire status? Okay, so I have confirmed this with my own eyes. So many musicians were up in arms. Prop 22, well, the law that preceded Prop 22, which is trying to get rid of this California regulation, which just blows my mind, is they decided to force companies that use independent contractors to make the independent contractors employees. Really, I think it was more of a money grab by the state so that they could collect the payroll taxes. But in the process of doing that, that meant that everybody who worked, no matter how little they worked, even if they worked an hour, they had to become an employee. The regulation was so stringent on who could be considered an independent contractor that basically nobody was an independent contractor anymore. And it really affected us at Taxi because, as you guys know, we've got at any moment in time like 25 to 40 or 45 different screeners working for us. And sometimes the screeners will, especially the guys who like play on the road with a big act, let's say, they might be gone for 3 or 4 months at a time and then come back and do 3 shifts of screening and then disappear for 2 months, then come back and work 1 day. So they just do fill-in stuff for us, and it makes them a little cash while they're home. And every single one of our screeners is employed by other entities. They're either, players and bands. They could do independent A&R work on their own. They might be an indie publisher. Trying to think of some of the other stuff they do, but like every single one of them has multiple streams of income, of which Taxi is one of those. So, and they sign an independent contractor agreement. It's not like we're pulling any wool over their eyes or anything. And then the state of California, in its infinite wisdom, said, okay, everybody is now an employee. So I think initially we had to onboard, I want to say 35 or 37 different screeners are now employees of Taxi. Isn't that funny? So somebody who works for us maybe a total of 5 days out of the year, and has 2 or 3 other streams of income and wants to be an independent contractor so they can write off mileage, write off their gear, et cetera, they had to become employees. So there was such an uproar amongst musicians that they actually carved out an exception for musicians. So I think that takes place on January 1st. But that means we paid payroll taxes. I think so far this year we're up to like $37,000 in payroll taxes. None of the screeners ever worked full time. None of them ever worked 40 hours a week. So they were part-time employees. So they didn't qualify for benefits anyway, like health insurance and stuff. And how do we even do that? How do you give health insurance somebody that might work, 5 hours in a year? Even our busiest, most frequently used screeners work like 4 hours a day, 2, 3, 4 hours a week. So none of them would qualify as full-time staffers. And the state of California says the reason they wanted to do it was to make sure that these people had health insurance, which I understand. But I think that all these folks, because they have multiple streams of income, were used to having their own health insurance already. In any case, there's a carve-out for musicians and all kinds of related things within the musician scope that is supposed to kick in on January 1st. So then we have to offboard those, whatever number of people it was, 30, 35, 37 screeners. So there you go. It was a big pain in the ass. And yeah. Anyway. Nobody understands what this profession implies. That's for sure. Why did we all pick music? That's the one mistake I think I've made in my life was, on one hand, I'm grateful and thrilled to do something that I love for my living, that puts food on the table for my family and a roof over our heads, and I get to know you guys and hang out with musicians. On the other hand, it's such a small little corner of the world with a lot of creative types that can require some hand holding, and it can be kind of a pain in the butt. It's a lot of work. But it's my chosen profession, and like I said, I'm grateful. But maybe I should have been an investment banker or a lawyer, because my friends that are lawyers, they seem to never work past 7 p.m. How do they do that? That's right. We didn't pick music. Music picked us. Yeah, there is no choice. Literally, for me, it was the moment I saw the Beatles on the Ed Sullivan Show. Oh, the squirrel is back. I literally knew. And I wasn't that into music at the time. I mean, I listened to radio. I was a kid. I think when the Beatles came to America, I was 9 years old. So, yeah, I would listen. Now the squirrel's sitting up on his haunches, taunting me. I hate that squirrel. Anyway, but when the Beatles, when I first heard She Loves You on the radio and saw them on the Ed Sullivan Show, that was it. I was a goner. It was like meeting the love of your life, and you just know it in an instant. And that was it. I had to be in the music industry. So thank you, John, Paul, George, and Ringo. You guys changed my life for better or for worse. A straitjacket, so warm and cozy. All right, so let's do a little voting. Liz, get your pencil and paper ready, please. All right, and let's not have you vote twice. So if both items are appealing to you, just vote for one or the other. Maybe I'll do a third round of voting where people say they'd be interested in both. So are you, everybody who is interested in getting a deep discount on iZotope RX, I think the latest version is RX8, but there are different versions. Can you just type in like RX, whatever version, if you're familiar with it, and then a +1, and we will count you up? What's an iZotope? iZotope is a brand name of some incredibly good software that people love. Now you got to say, we're going to vote for the other thing, the other iZotope in a minute. Right now we're on the RX. So one. Crashgates prefers Nectar. RX Advanced. Any RX. RX8. The other option is going to be, Ozone, the mastering software. Yeah, their stuff is not cheap, but everybody I know that's ever used anything by iZotope just raves about it. And so I'm very glad that they're going to be a sponsor. And they actually said the words, we will offer a deep discount or a steep discount to your members, but we need to know which product. And they wanted us to narrow it down to one. Il Rosso isn't here, but he wanted to vote for RX. Okay. RX Advanced. Wow. Yeah, nobody ever says anything about, wow, a crow just dive bombed that squirrel. See, that's the best part of Taxi TV is the nature stuff that happens. People speak about iZotope products with great reverence. when you mention other types of software, people say, yeah, I used to use that, but now I use this, or I like that better, or, I had a hard time figuring out, the interface wasn't that friendly. You bring up iZotope, and they all go, oh, yeah, iZotope. I am the new Marlon Perkins. Maybe I should get myself like a khaki shirt, with cargo pockets on it or something. There is literally a crow harassing the squirrel out there. Here, I'm going to hold up while you guys are voting. I'm going to hold up a recent photo I got right before the show. Apparently, our daughter Sarah has taken our granddaughter Molly to a petting zoo today. That's for you, Cass. I'm surprised they didn't make the damn goat wear a mask. Oh, Neoverb. I saw that too on their site. Maybe I should tell them. Okay, don't give such a steep discount, but everybody wants a 25% discount across the board for all your products. Why not let them pay? You mean them as in why not let iZotope? Neoverb looks really cool. Yeah, look at it this way. The money you're going to save on not buying a plane ticket to the road rally, you could spend it with iZotope. I'm not kidding you. By the way, again, yes, they're a sponsor, but when you guys see this 8-minute video about all the stuff that MasterWriter does, any of you who are songwriters, people, I've heard people say, oh, I don't want a computer writing my song for me. The computer doesn't write the song. But if you've ever used a thesaurus or a rhyming dictionary, you thought, yeah, I can get that stuff online for free. You can. When you see what MasterWriter does and the incredible amount of options that you would never think of in your lifetime, and I'm not just talking about words that rhyme, but phrases that rhyme, and I can't even explain it. Frankly, I've been around it for so many years, but I can't explain it. But the video does a really good job. I don't think any songwriter should be without it. It's that good. Wow, JP has had it since 2015, and he goes to it every day. Yeah, it's for words and lyrics, not for music, but it's got the option that if you have an idea for a melody, you can just hit a key and go da-da-da-da-da and sing the melody in, or you play with acoustic guitar, whatever. You can compare, here's my draft of this lyric from yesterday, here's the draft from a week ago, and it pulls everything together like in one file, as it were, so that when you're working on a song, all these different elements of the song are in one place. So it's organizational, but really it's the phraseology. The squirrel's doing this. That squirrel's got to go. I found another, he chewed a hole in another one of our cushions on our lawn furniture out there, patio furniture. They've updated the interface, Tony Salazzo, so it shouldn't be clunky. John Pearson, the word families on MasterWriter is an awesome feature. Yeah, and it's cheap. I forget how much it is. You license it, and I don't know, I want to say like $10 a month or something. All right, so Liz, when we're done, you can just email me these numbers. All right, let's do the voting now for Ozone, which is the mastering software, and I think that one was, they have the Elements version, which is kind of the stripped down version, which still looks pretty beefy. The the 9 version 9 standard, which is elements is 129, the iZotope ozone 9 version 9 standard is 249, and the 9 advanced, which frankly I don't think anybody would need the advanced other than like a legit mastering engineer, that's 499. Anyway, cast your votes for iZotope ozone. We had some gentleman, remember I was talking about that we're going to have to raise the price of taxi at some point. And I put that in an email for a discount flyer that just went out. And some guy emailed yesterday from Denmark, and he's a member through 2021 or until 2021. And he wanted to renew for 2 years beyond that. And my wife saw the email. And she said, why? Why would anybody want to do that? I know why, because he heard the prices going up, so he's buying a couple of years cheap now. He's smart. Danish people are well known to be very careful with their money. I hate to make a gross generalization like that, but our former VP, Doug Minnick, was married to a very lovely Danish woman named Birta. And so through them, I met a lot of their Danish friends, and they all used to laugh about how Americans will just spend money on anything. Apparently, Danes are very, very careful with their money, which is a good thing. Ghost of young Michael. Is that a band name or an homage to me? I agree. Nothing wrong with well-applied frugality. Honestly, Akira, I don't know if the database allows us to go that far in advance or not. And don't worry so much about the price increase. It's not going to be that intense. It ain't going to be like $10 a year, but like I said, we're very likely to roll Dispatch into it. And Dispatch is, I think, $149 a year. So, you're going to get Dispatch included, and yeah, it'll be fine, kids. Don't you worry. And my wife actually has Danish blood. Can I submit from my casket? Is that where your name came from? Casket McKenty? God forbid. I never want to see that day. Although you're so tall, you might have to order an extra large slim. Cass is very tall, for those of you who don't know. How tall are you? Like 6'4", 6'5", something? I remember seeing you, first time I saw you at a rally, I went, wow, that dude is pretty tall. Yeah, Darren is, I can't believe we held the same price, and frankly, we got away with holding the price for a long time because we kept getting better and faster and more efficient at what we did, so we're able to keep the cost down, but other costs just kept rising and rising and rising. You're 6'2"? That's it? I thought you were taller than that. Didn't I say McKenty? I know what your last name is. Taller with roller skates on. That's right. We want to see video of Cass doing roller derby. McKenty as in golf. There you go. Mac and cheese. I'll tell you what, when we do have the next physical road rally, if you guys can keep a lid on it and not tell people who aren't part of our crazy little club here, one of the nights during the next physical road rally, I told you every year they give me the presidential suite at the hotel. It's not like it's that fancy or that giant, but I would say it's probably, I don't know, 1,200 square feet maybe. It's got if I open the second bedroom, it's got 2 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms, a little kitchenette, a little dining room area. I want to have a party where we all can get together and celebrate the fact that we've spent so much time together and we still like each other, I think. All right, so is the voting done? Apparently it is. I was so busy yammering away. Wow. A listening party, that's a great idea. You know what? Let's do that. I'll get like a nice boombox or a small stereo or something, and everybody can bring cassettes of their music and we can listen. Aw, thank you, Ron Michaels. I will pay whatever the price is. Taxi's been so kind. Thank you. I'm amazed. One of our regulars, who's I don't believe is in the chat today, but somebody I consider, well, he's a member and he's a friend. He's become a friend over the last couple of years, was telling me that he took a course about, licensing your music for sync. And I believe that he said that the price was $3,000 per person to take this multi-week, like once a week online course. $3,000 a person, and he gave me what I consider to be a very dear compliment by saying that he's learned as much or more for free on Taxi TV. So there you go. Yeah, don't mention 8 tracks. Ooh, somebody's doing math. Let's go check that out. Andre says, well, if you divide the membership by 365 days, it's 54 cents a day if you get the discount at $1.99. So I think it's worth it. Yeah, look, when I'm not doing a sales pitch because you guys are all members, I think, but if you add up, let me break out a little calculator here. So how much is the average Starbucks? Like $5? Does that sound about right? So $5, and let's say that you only get a Starbucks during business days, like Monday through Friday on your way to work or something. So I think that works out to like 265 days a year. So $5 a day times 265 days a year. That's $1,325 if you're just getting the, like $5 coffee at Starbucks. And I know people, we used to have a staff member at Taxi that was constantly complaining that she was broke all the time. And she was probably in her early 20s, and she drove a pretty nice car. I mean, it wasn't like a Porsche or Mercedes or a Beamer, but I would say it was probably a $30-some thousand new car. And she would come to work every day with one of those giant Starbucks. And I think I asked her one day, and she says like $6.50. And so I did the math and said, here, let's figure out how much she was spending. Let's call it $6.50 if she dropped the change in the tip thing, times 265 business days a year. $1,722 a year on coffee. I'm sorry, but if money's tight, wouldn't it make more sense to make the coffee at home and put it in a Starbucks cup and bring it to work? Just saying. And Starbucks doesn't change your life. Actually, it did change my life. I didn't like coffee Coffee would get me wired and weird, and I kind of like the taste. Like I like coffee ice cream and coffee yogurt, coffee candy, but I just didn't like coffee. And I realized it was because my wife was drinking this Israeli coffee called Elite. It was instant coffee, and to me it tasted like rusty water. So, all those years, I mean, for like 20 years, she's going, oh, try this. No, this tastes like crap. And then one day, I think it was Shirelli came to the office. He always brings like 3 Starbucks with him whenever he does Taxi TV. And I didn't drink it during the show, but after he left, I took a sip and I went, wow, that's pretty good. And then like a week later, Deb brought home a cup of Starbucks on a Sunday morning, and I drank that and went, wow, this is good. So ever since then, for at least 5 years or more now, I drink coffee at home. I don't think did I ever show you guys the coffee that we get? I don't know if I can reach it. It's in a very high cabinet. I'll be back momentarily. Ooh, maybe I won't be. Okay, I'm doing a plug here. Little commercial break. This stuff from Costco is right around $10, I think, maybe $11 for 2.5 pounds, right? So you can, and it's roasted by Starbucks. Some of the beans are a little deformed looking. Maybe they should be, they're not going to be posing nude in any magazines lately because they're not very attractive beans, but they taste just fine. And this coffee, we've tried, Starbucks, whatever, like the $14 a bag Ethiopian stuff that goats poop out of their butts or whatever. We've tried all kinds of exotic coffees just to try them. Frankly, I'm too thrifty to buy them. Yeah, they're no Pat Boone, that's for sure. Anyway, we cannot beat this coffee, but it is dark, and you've got to good, strong. We make it strong. It's so good. It's so intoxicating. Anyway, I cannot recommend that coffee enough. Is it bitter? I don't know. I don't have much to compare it to. I know that when I drink like Colombian, it tastes kind of boring and not strong enough. I mean, this might have a slight bit. I on some occasions, I will drink it black, but with some sweetener in it, and I don't find it like that kind of bitter. It's not as smooth like Costa Rican coffee. I think is interesting, and it's very smooth. Has a little caramely note to it, but this stuff is just, I don't know. I drink it with what do they call that stuff? Yet another show and tell. We've done 100 episodes when I'm pulling out show and tell stuff that I'm sure I showed you a long time ago. Well, you can always make it weaker, Marion. You can always just add more water and less beans. Yeah, new sponsors. So I drink that coffee. God, my nose is itchy. That coffee with, I forget, packet of Equal, and probably about 2 tablespoons of this stuff in there. And to me, it's just awesome. I love it. Yeah, Friday coffee hour. I was thinking about making today a drinking episode to celebrate 100 episodes, but then I thought better of that because I have work to do. Where did Mrs. Folgers go? I know, I miss her. They probably took her off the packaging for some reason. 'Cause wasn't she like from another country that would be considered racist or something now? Aren't they all drinking episodes? You're probably right. Yes, Sumatra. That's probably my second favorite flavor of coffee is the Sumatra from Starbucks, and Major Dickinson's from Pete's is also very good. Maybe Major Dickinson's might be number two to. I can't pick it up; it's so heavy. Yeah, Major Dickinson's from Pete's Coffee is in the same ballpark as this. It's missing like 10% of the kick. We also have been known to experiment with, like on Saturday morning, I'll make coffee in a coffee press, but you really got to be careful how you grind it to use it with the coffee press so it works well. And then what's that other thing, the Chemex, where you put the paper filter in the top and pour the hot water over and it drips into that carafe that looks like you're a mad scientist. So... yeah, this Costco stuff is good. Although, Liz, I bought it for the office one time. I used to, for a month or two, I was buying it at Costco. We at the time we didn't have a grinder at the office, so I would buy the bags of beans and then grind them at Costco and then bring it to the office. But Tom and some of the other people on the staff thought it was too intense. Is it written Starbucks on your bag? Yeah, it is. Right there, roasted by Starbucks. Custom roasted by Starbucks. Ooh, custom roasted. Kristen and I just drank a Mountain Dew and a Pepsi. Major caffeine, unfortunately, sugar. That's true. Now when I drink a Diet Coke, man, that stuff will keep me up till 2 o'clock in the morning. I could drink this at like 8 o'clock at night and it won't keep me up. If I have a Diet Coke with dinner, which I don't do very often, maybe that's like a 5-time-a-year event, I can't fall asleep. So I'm pretty convinced that Diet Coke puts crack in their product. I'll probably get kicked off YouTube for saying that. Michael's wild nose hairs, yes. Yeah, but I think I've only yanked a nose hair on one occasion. I'm not very good. Let's talk about personal hygiene for a moment. I'm not very good. Do you believe this is the crap we talk about? That I talk about? Diet cocaine. There you go. I didn't inhale. Yeah, I think only once did I ever have to yank a nose hair on camera because it was just driving me crazy. I think every time I breathed, it was like going, tickling the crap out of me. Yeah, peanut M&Ms and Diet Coke. Seriously, if you want to stay up really, really late at night, have a family-size bag of peanut M&Ms in your hotel room and chug down a Diet Coke. Between the sugar from the M&Ms in the Diet Coke, you're not falling asleep. Yeah, they did remove the cocaine from Coca-Cola. Pop rocks and any soda. Yeah, that'll cure any gastrointestinal issues you might have. Chris, and just take an extra shot of insulin. Woo. So Liz, I'm curious. You don't have to give me the numbers right now, but was there a clear winner among the iZotope products? Yep, a pharmacist did invent Coca-Cola, and he was a very wise pharmacist. The RX-8 won. Wow. Yeah, it's funny. Taxi TV is not, I'll say practically anything short of cursing on the Quarantinis just because, it's us. But yeah, I have to behave myself on the regular episodes. Michael Bonner, the 100 balloons are for 100. Today is the 100th episode of the Quarantini Happy Hour. Can you believe it? Hey, Liz, I'm going to stay on for an extra 5 minutes today. I'm having too much fun. Um, you reggae music get placement in movie? That's an ill-formed sentence, op music. Do you mean, can we get reggae music in a movie? Sure, if they ask us, we don't just like take music and then start going, hey man, you got to check out this reggae. Yeah, you should check out this reggae. They need to reach out to us and say, we're working on a scene. We've got, like couples retreat where everybody arrives on the island and they're having margaritas or whatever, pina coladas in the thatch roof bar. We need some reggae background music. Then we tell our members submit the music. We find the stuff that's on target and of high enough quality. We send it to the person who's working on the movie that requested it. And if they hear something they like, they license it for the film. It's been 4 years since 2020 began. No kidding. Feels like it, doesn't it? Thank you, Ghosty Young Michael. I've got to say, all along during the quarantine, I know I've said several times on the show that I haven't felt any sort of like mental or emotional disturbance from being cooped up in the house, and it just didn't bother me. I like working from home, and I like solitude. But I will say, in the last week, I've had the thought 3 or 4 times, like, enough already. I'm ready. My wife and I've gone out to dinner twice in these 7 months. In the last, 3 weeks, I think we went out to our favorite sushi restaurant, which is only a couple blocks away. And they've taken over a piece of the parking lot and set up socially distanced tables. And we've had sushi outdoors. And even then, I'm a little paranoid, wondering if anybody eating sushi at a table 6 feet or 8 feet away from us is spreading, any virus around. But for the most part, I really haven't felt affected by it. But a lot of my friends, have mentioned that they're like really stressed out by it all, and I'm sorry to hear that. Am I planning on having some sort of Quarantini Happy Hour after the quarantine is over? Akira, I had that exact thought in my little old brain right before I started today's show. I went outside, as I often do, just to stretch my arms and take a little breath of fresh air in. And I thought to myself, sooner or later, my guess is right after the election, that this will end. And I thought, how can I stop doing this? I don't know. I used to do Taxi TV on Monday for the public, and then on Wednesdays I would do a members only version of Taxi TV, and I think I did that for maybe a year. But it's taxing. For these things, I don't prep that much, so it doesn't take me much work to get ready for the show. And I really do enjoy it when you guys put comments in the comment area so that I've got something to go off of for the next episode rather than just blabbering all the time. But I don't know. We'll see. Basically, anytime that I'm doing a happy hour, I stop all other work right around 3 o'clock, usually 3 o'clock sharp. And I look around just to see, is there anything here that inspires me to talk about stuff on the show today? I get my hair done. I get my makeup done. I have to check out all the settings on YouTube and on Wirecast to make sure everything's going to work. So, right around 3:30, between 3:30 and 3:40, I feel like the show's ready to go. And if I feel confident that the tech is going to work and I've got something to talk about, then maybe in the 20 minutes leading up to the 4 o'clock hour, I'll jump in and answer a few emails. But it takes a little time when I add it up from doing it every day. Maybe I'd come once or twice a week for the informal happy hour. Okay, I'm considering it. Andre has a question. If you submit an instrumental track and it's been forwarded, then you do a shorter version of it for another listing by editing. Do you have to change the title? No, I wouldn't think so. My wife picked up the balloons this morning. She went out to try and find those Mylar balloons that are actual numbers, but couldn't find them. So she got me yellow balloons and drew the numbers on there. Yeah, could you imagine 2020 without us hanging out every day? Um, so I want to let you know before we do sign off today that I am taking next week off from Taxi TV. Is not going to happen on Monday, nor are we doing any quarantinis now that everybody's telling me how much they love it. I'm seriously like 3 days behind on Road Rally stuff, and it's crunch time now. I'm having to deal with all kinds of stuff. Finally, my video guy, my technical director, finally responded to me after like 4 texts. He's like a kitchen remodeler. The guy took a 50% deposit for like $3,800, and I didn't hear from him. But he has a good reputation, and I'm sure he's not a crook. Anyway, so there was decisions I had to make because I couldn't talk to him. And when he hears about these decisions, like how close together things are, he's going to freak out, but I had to make a decision. So I made one. I made several. Anyway, yeah, so I'm taking off all next week from Taxi TV. But I will tell you, we're going to have a very, very, very busy time period between Monday, November 2nd through Sunday night, November 8th. Every day is loaded up with content. I think I've got 10, either 9 or 10, what do you call them, the prequels booked now, waiting for confirmation on a 10th, which might be a sponsor, actually. So that's basically, we're going to be broadcasting all day Monday, all day Tuesday, all day Wednesday. I'm taking Thursday off. I'm not off, but not broadcasting on Thursday because that's the day that all the gear will move into my house and that we'll set up and do all the pre-production stuff, getting ready. And then we blast off Friday morning at 9 o'clock, and it's 3 solid days. By the way, if anybody wants to perform, the deadline, I think, is Sunday. For people that want to perform. It's like everybody's like, are you going to have any live performances? We've gotten very few submissions for those showcases. I may end up canceling one of the showcases if we don't have enough, people to play them. So, yeah, pay attention. Kristen says, saw the email. Yeah, it's kind of like the open mic, other than we've got to filter it. Basically, we're finding anything that's above kind of a B+, and then we're sending that to the company that's sponsoring it, which is Music Pro Insurance. And then they get to pick 6 acts for each of the 3 nights. But if we don't have enough acts that are appealing to them, then we may only have 2 of those. So, wow, Ghost of Michael Young is taking off work for the Road Rally. Super excited. I've heard that from several people. It's not going to be via Zoom. It's going to be whatever. It's like Zoom. Basically, I shouldn't say it. Actually, the people from Music Pro have been doing these things all the time during the entire quarantine, basically, along with Intune Partners, which is the company that sells the sponsorships for the Road Rally. So they've got it down to a science. So I'm basically handing them the keys to the YouTube channel, and they're going to take care of everything. I think they might actually do it on Zoom and then link Zoom to YouTube Live. Rick just saw the balloons. Where the hell have you been looking this whole hour? Oh, man. Anyway, so that's it, you guys. The next time we all chat, or see each other, figuratively speaking, will be on Monday, November 2nd, a week from this coming Monday. If during the off time I get inspired, I'm going to miss you guys. I really am. I'm not going to lie. And if I feel like I have a half an hour or something, maybe I'll just go online and whoever gets the notification shows up and we'll just hang out and say hi. I can't promise that will happen. But seriously, when I was thinking today about when the quarantine's over, it's like, God, I don't know how my life would be if I didn't do these things every now and then. Then again, I'm so out of fresh material and feel like I'm repeating a lot of stuff. So we'll see. Anyway, with that, thank you guys. Thank you for 100 episodes of this. Seriously, I cannot thank you enough for giving me something to do and making me feel like I'm part of this community. And thank you, Liz. Thank you, Bria. Thank you, Ariana, for having my back behind the scenes on this. And God, I sound like I'm signing off for good. I'm not. Anyway, yes, here's to 100 more. I will see you guys November 2nd at the latest. Please keep an eye on your emails from Taxi. By the way, check your promotions tab if you're in Gmail. And if you see any Taxi emails in promotions tab, drag them to your primary inbox, all right? And then it'll say, do you want us to do that with all emails from this sender? Yes, you do. So with that, bye for a little while. Thank you for joining me. Thanks for 100 episodes. Bye-bye. Have a great weekend. And don't forget, when you go to Costco this weekend, buy the espresso blend. It's good. Good night, you guys.